I'm going to do a test again today. This time I use a 15-inch coil and the 11-inch coil, which I've got on there, and compare the two. And so what I've got is, and I'll show you the depths on a tape so you'll trust it, I guess. 12 inches, 12 inches, 12 inches. So 3 holes at a foot. I've got one 16-inch hole and a couple of shallows, and we'll see what we'll do with those. And what I'm going to do is, at those 3 12-inch holes, I'm going to put this small silver coin. It's a silver dime. I'm going to put in the other 12-inch hole this silver nickel from 1944, and then in the other 12-inch hole, silver quarter. So basically, going to try to hit silver at depth, 3 different sizes of silver at depth, with the 11 on the Blisstool and with the 15. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this lead 3-ringer and put it down there at 16 inches and see if I can hit that with both coils or with one or the other. So a lead 3-ringer at 16 inches. And then in those shallow holes, I'm going to put a lead 3-ringer in one of the 6-inch holes, and I'm probably going to stick a piece of aluminum in the other 6-inch hole and see if I can discriminate out the aluminum and still hit the bullet shallow. So let's get back over to those holes and we'll measure them and then put the targets in there. Let's see if you can see the depth on that first hole there. You see we got basically 12 inches right under the shovel. We'll have the same thing on these. Sorry for the shakiness, doing the best I can. 12 inches to the top of that hole. There we go. See, 12 inches out of the bottom of the shovel here. So 3 12-inch holes. Let's go over to the 16. Push that down flat. You can see that. Get 16 to the bottom of the shovel. So a good 16-inch hole. Then a couple of shallow ones, 6 inches, just to the bottom of the shovel. Alright, so now let's bury these targets. And we'll start with silver, a couple of 3-ringers, and a piece of aluminum. Let me test some iron here in a bit too. That might just be for my own thinking. First 12-inch hole at the silver dime. I'm going to put the silver dime right in the bottom. Of course, I do have it facing up, you know, so there's that. And then let's go silver nickel at 12 inches. There we go, silver nickel 12. And then silver quarter at the bottom of that 12-inch hole, right there. Well, I don't know what I did with the piece of aluminum. I left it laying on the ground. Okay, so this is the 16-inch hole. There goes a lead 3-ringer right in the bottom of that 16-inch hole. And lead 3-ringer at 6 inches. Obviously it'll pick it up, and then I'm going to put some aluminum next to it and see if I can, there's the piece of aluminum. I'm going to see if I can discriminate that piece of junk out while still picking up the lead. So we'll try it and see. There it is. Alright, now fill these back in. Alright, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to leave the ground balance the same, gain is the same. I bumped the threshold up another notch, so instead of about 5 1/4, it's now at about 6. You can see that. And also the discriminator toggle, instead of 1, I've put it over now at discriminator 3. I brought the discriminator depth down to about 8 and left the discriminator level where it is. So let's see if we can pick those up now. 11-inch coil, and this is 12-inch silver dime. So on that silver, it's doing a better job on that dime. Discriminator level 3. Okay, now the nickel, the 12-inch silver nickel, no problem with the 11-inch. Yep. And then the 12-inch quarter. Is my other camera working? No, it's not. And then the 12-inch quarter, same settings with the 11-inch. Breaking up a little bit. You get right over it, does a good job though. So those settings changed that a little bit. Let's check the 16-inch 3-ringer. Yeah, getting that. So it's at 16 inches on the 3-ringer. It's trying to get it. I don't know if you'd dig that though, to be honest with you. Might or might not. And then so with those settings, 6 inches on a 3-ringer, loud and clear. Airplane, yo! And then the aluminum. See, so I'm not discriminating out that aluminum anymore. It's not pinpointing that well though. Whereas the 3-ringer is. So those settings, 6-inch aluminum, picking it up, 6-inch 3-ringer, picking it up. But the pinpoint and the signal is much more clear on the 3-ringer than the aluminum. Signal sounds good. Okay, so the pinpoint's there that way, and then it breaks up a little bit. See, that pinpoint's off. So let's do what we did before. I'm going to bring the threshold and the sensitivity up to 6, so up about 1 spot. And I'm going to take that discriminator toggle over to 3. Leave the discriminator level where it is and back the discriminator depth off to about 8. 1 spot. Same thing, same ground balance, everything. 15-inch coil. Let's see how we do now. Small seated dime, silver dime at 12 inches. No problem with the 15-inch. So the nickel I expect the same. No problem. Let's see. Even have the coil up about 4 inches off the ground. No problem. Quarter, silver quarter. No problem at 12 inches. Even I can lift it up and get it. Alright, so 16-inch 3-ringer with those adjusted settings. Yep. Good mellow tone on the edges, if you want to call it that. That's a good sound. "16-inch 3-ringer, I like that. With the 15-inch, it'll obviously get the 6, and it'll get the aluminum, and it doesn't break it up. So right now, until I learn the machine more, what I'm learning is I go that discriminator toggle 3, and I'm not going to discriminate out and tell myself as much about shallow aluminum targets, but I am going to pick up depth on lead and do a better job with things like silver at depth, 12 inches. I mean, so that's basically it. See, if I turn this discriminator toggle on 1 at those settings, fine on that, and that's shorter, and it doesn't pinpoint as well. Hear that? And then whereas the lead pinpoint's fine, I put that discriminator toggle on 3. That's where I picked up these other targets better, the depth targets, 12-inch silver, 16-inch lead. But by putting it there, I don't discriminate out as much as that aluminum. And see, it pinpoints a little better. A little bit anyway. Lead pinpoint's perfect. I'm going to go over this one more time. We got ground balance on manual where it was, discriminator 3, gain at 3, and then the disc level at 6 and the disc depth at 8. Gain is at about 6. I'm sorry, not gain, threshold or sensitivity at about 6. So 6 sensitivity, 3 gain, 6 and 8 on the level and depth, and then 3 on the discriminator. And I'm going to start at the 16-inch. I'm going to go over it one more time. "16-inch 3-ringer, picks it up. Probably would dig that. 6-inch 3-ringer, no problem. 6-inch aluminum. See? It's discriminating that out just a little at a certain angle, breaking it up. 12-inch quarter, silver quarter. No trouble with that. 12-inch nickel, silver nickel. I don't know why that nickel breaks up with that 15-inch coil. There it goes. And then 12-inch silver diamond. Loud and clear. So I think that'll be the settings I use in this field and some of the others. 3 on the gain, 6 on the sensitivity when I can handle it, 6 and 8 on level and depth, and 3 on the discriminator. Alright, there we go. Enough of that.